Hello everybody! Welcome back to the Jef Stream Program with me, the Jef. I'm actually here. I do have a hole in my left wing though, so please be gentle. I am fragile. I think it's Italian. Hang on, I gotta turn the audio levels around a little bit. I got my microphone moved a little further away from me than normal today because I have a predilection to make sharp inhales and loud ow fucks when I move wrong. I hope you guys are doing well. As you can hear, I can chuckle again, which is nice, because for a couple of days there, chuckling was out of the question, and I knew that I wasn't going to be able to stream, because I giggle like a little schoolgirl when I hang out with you guys. Tee-hee, tee-hee. Holy shit, look at all these subscribers. Stop it. Stop it. Cut it out. I mean it. Anybody want a peanut? M-Wise, thank you so much for 9 months. You got a baby. Congratulations. Ken-Up26 with 15 months. Thank you so much. Double X the Tyrant with 15 as well. Summer Carbage with 19. Bloody Wolf with 34. Holy shit. And Korag33 with 4 months in a row. Thank you guys all very much for that. I'm super grateful. One second. Let me move my microphone. I gotta think about this though. Hang on. Okay, sorry, my microphone is on my left side. So, story time. Story time, yay! Yay, story time. Oh, by the way, before I start with that, BT Viking interrupted my story time. How dare you? Thank you for the sub, though. So yeah, what happened over the past week and a half, 2 weeks that I haven't been able to stream was my brother and his wife and their whole family went on vacation, and they've got this big, like, animal farm kind of deal going on over at their place where they have so many animals, it's bizarre. They've got a miniature horse, an alpaca, 4 turkeys, 4 ducks, multiple pheasants, a lot of chickens. They have a tortoise, 2 turtles, a boa constrictor or a python, I can't even tell, it's a big-ass snake, a bearded dragon, a bunch of betta fish. Like, they just are animal nuts over there. And they have a giant 3-foot-tall scarlet macaw as well. And that thing has a razor-sharp beak, and it is huge and scares the shit out of me. Anyway, somebody has to go over and take care of all them little animals when everybody's away, so I share shifts with some other family members, and one of the times I went over there, one of the prized turkeys my brother has been raising, and yes, those turkeys will be eaten probably next month. Well, not all of them. One of them had gotten out of the fence, and like these fences are just wire and rebar, and they're just, it's you know, like they live out in the backwoods. So anyway, I saw one of them go over the fence, and I just instinctively took off after it, got tangled up in the barbed wire, and I fell on my left side on a log. Like, fortunately, it was a wet, like, rotten log. But anyway, I fell and I hurt myself pretty bad. I was pretty sure I had a broken rib or something, especially when the bruising started. So I went into the doctor, and my brother took me in, and we were both convinced it was a broken rib. And we said, it's a broken rib. The doctor gave me an x-ray, looked at all the bruising on the front of my chest, looked at the x-rays, and said, you do not have a broken rib. It must be an abdominal muscle tear. So he sent me home and said, you'll feel better in a couple of days. So I went back in a couple of days because I was feeling worse, and I said, Doc, it is not better, and he gave me a couple more x-rays, and I found out, after all that, it wasn't a broken rib, it wasn't a torn abdominal muscle. I have a dislocated floating rib on my left side. It's been separated from the cartilage, which sucks ass, and means that my left side is pretty much immobilized right now. I'm wearing a compression top with a big brace, and I have a upper arm, I don't know if it's an armature or a ligature, it's some kind of a armature thing made out of, like, polymers bracing my left shoulder, so I can't rotate so good. So if I do have to move my microphone or whatever, it's going to be a hassle. Mostly it's no big deal because of the brace on my chest now, being able to keep that little floating bitch in place so it doesn't poke all my insides out. It's been real painful. Mostly the problem has been sleeping. I haven't got a lot of sleep in the past week. But anyway, there it is. I can put my elbow on my desk, and I can WASD like a champ, so that's what we're going to do today. We're going to play some My Summer Car, and we got a new percolate emote to go with it. Anyway, hello everybody, that was story time. How are you guys doing? Oh my gosh, subscribers! Before we get to the actual games, the Bun Bun with 27, thank you. Bro Obama with 23, thank you. The Fish King with 20, thank you. It doesn't sound as sincere when I do it all in a row. You guys gotta spread them out like this, so I can sound more sincere. Ben Boozle, thank you for 2 months in a row. And now please stop subscribing. Damn you, Necromancer, how dare you subscribe. Thank you very much. I'm really, genuinely very thankful. You guys are the best people out there. Thank you for waiting for me. I really appreciate it while I got a hole in my left wing. Anyway, let's play some video games. Did I get my fade right? Nope. That's the wrong tab altogether. But you know what? I'm going to let it go through the whole fade anyway, because it's beautiful. Okay. Alright, now on to the next one. Yes! I call it a bonus. I call it a bonus. Okie dokie. Man, I gotta lay off the volume a little bit. It's those big gulps of air that kind of move stuff around in ways I don't necessarily want it to be moved. Mr. Skeltal and I, we go way back. I've taken good care of Mr. Skeltal. I give him lots of milk to drink, and he usually takes good care of me, but man, he is just, woof, mad at me the past week. Oh, we're going to play some My Summer Car today. There's been a bunch of updates. We're in experimental build. We did start this save file last time. You'll notice we don't have a lot of money because I do believe last time we quit our job doing lumberjacking and poop trucking to go gamble in a cabin, and then we passed out and got punched by a guy and ended up somehow at home. I don't honestly remember how we got home in this save file, but I guess we'll have to figure it out from here. Ooh, lovely. Well, it's nice to be noticed. We've got friends out there. Yeah, that sounds like a good way to start our day. How about we go take a trip to the pub? You'll notice we don't have a lot of money, or actually, we don't have a lot of anything. I notice we don't have any mosquito spray. We don't have really anything. This is a very new save, and I'm pretty sure this is going to be the first trip into town to go pick this guy up, and it's a bit dark outside. I can't see anything. Can you guys see anything? Hello? Hi? What the fuck? Hey, Radrack, and thank you so much for the resubscription, my dude. I got the internals laid out for the Satsuma earlier today while setting up for the stream, and we'll probably install those for later, but for now, let's just grab a couple packs of sausages, a case of booze, and go pick up our friend Drunky McBoozerton in town and give him a ride home. Because, honestly, I know it seems a little weird. Out of all the jobs to do, the picking up the drunk from town pays the least. And you have to do quite a bit to do it, because you have to survive the trip into town, which is not as easy as it may seem. Also, I've had to reconfigure my controls for my left-armedness, or my current right-armedness. So we're not going to be using a controller anymore for driving. So I'll have to WASD my way out of all these problems. Hey, Schwinger. Thank you for the 16-month resub, and Autobob as well for 4 months. And also, thank you guys for spacing those out a little bit so I could pretend like I care. Come on, I'm pretending like I'm not pretending, okay? It's all part of the game. Speaking of things that are not configured correctly, I need to shift. Shift into clutch. There we go. Beautiful. Or mostly beautiful. So the changes that have been made recently to My Summer Car, I have been reading through the notes, and I've got a little bit of information about them. I don't know everything, which is good, because that's kind of how I like to approach games. I don't want to go into them with all the pieces already available. Alright, so we got our booze and our sausage. We're good to go. Okay. Oh, hey, look, it's still got the wood in it. Nice. That's the most annoying part, is chopping the wood. That's amazing. It's Mortal Sunday today. On Mortal Monday, maybe we can go turn in that wood for some dollarinos and buy some mosquito spray. But in the meantime, we're going to have to be stanky and covered in bugs. Probably get Zika virus. Maybe malaria. Maybe our head will become very large. I actually don't think we have a head. I'm pretty sure there is an external camera. And yeah, you can see I have no head. I am the disembodied ghost of Finland past. Yeah, there have been some changes to Twitch since I've been gone, and yeah, there's been a bunch of stuff that's occurred. I've been very much out of the meme game and the internet in general. I've basically been confined to a recliner and an iPad and 2 hours of sleep a day at a time. And let me tell you, that is just no way to keep up with current events. I am out of all of the loops, if I ever was in one. Yeah, they've made some changes to Twitch. Some of them I'm not super fond of. They added a new raid command to chat to automate the process of raiding someone else's channel, which I always found to be bad. I know some people think they're good, but I don't like raids. So that's great that they've implemented that as a built-in feature. Haha. Also, there are achievements now, which is interesting. I noticed today I just unlocked an achievement on Twitch for starting my first stream. We did it, guys. We did it together. Welcome to the very first, according to Twitch, Jef Stream Program ever achievement get. We wanted to give players a sense of achievement and unlocking and progression in their... I'm sorry, that's... it's a bit too prescient. Hey, History Geek 600, thank you so much for the resubscription. I'm also a history geek. Did you know that the Etruscans had some of the most sensual art of the ancient world? I bet you did, because you're a history geek too. Too soon? Okay, too soon. Got it. What's my score on Twitch? It's like 5, maybe? 5? I think? I'm not sure. I've never been much of a high score guy. Oh, geez, the lightning's flashing. It's pretty early. We're well within moosing range, so I gotta be a little careful. How are my audio levels, guys? Can you hear the van? Can you hear the thunder and the lightning? Can you hear AC/DC in the background, maybe? What happened to my second and a half or third arm? I just went through a big story time at the beginning. The VOD should be available to watch already, oddly enough, and you can just go back to that and rewind it if you'd like. I told the whole story start to finish medical saga in as quickly an amount of time as possible because, honestly, I bet you guys are tired of Jeff's medical sagas. I know I'm tired of Jeff's medical sagas, but, like, I tripped and fell on a log. I can't... Ow. God. See, like... It still hurts a little bit to giggle. I'm gonna have to curtail my giggling a tiny bit, guys. I know I'm known for my manly, bearded, lumberjacking giggles, but they hurt a little bit. Like, what the hell was that rib doing floating anyway? Like, I've read about those. They come up often in Dwarf Fortress Adventure Mode combat logs. I didn't even know I had one. How does it float? Is it buoyant? No, I actually have learned far more about ribs and bones in the past week than I ever wanted to know. In fact, actually, no, the technical term for what happened to me is actually called a slipped rib, because it was a rib that was not connected to the front cartilage of my chest, so hence being a floating rib, it got dislocated, and therefore it is slipped out of position, which is why it's nice I don't need surgery, because that would have been a nightmare. All I need to do is wear this brace and compression top and not fucking sleep on my left arm or play left-handed softball for a while. Have I ever not been injured? Sometimes it feels that way. I get sick a lot. I've always been a sickly person. I think that's one of the reasons I gravitated towards YouTube in the olden days, was because it sort of allowed me to be my sick self. I could be well and do a bunch of stuff, and then when I wasn't well, all that stuff was still there, and I had already done it. Yeah, sometimes I am distinctly aware of, there's a particular feeling I get when I get sick for a long time, and it's this moment where you forget what it feels like to be well anymore. I don't know if any of you guys have ever experienced that moment. It's a line I don't like crossing, but it comes up a little too frequently in my life. Fortunately, this is weird. It's a physical injury. It's like I have a big bruise and like a hole in my left wing, so it's different. It's not so mentally aggravating. And you know what? I gotta say, I really do appreciate all the support. I'm not a very sentimental guy. I usually talk about throwing babies into wood chippers and stuff like that. But I do want to say one sentimental thing really quickly before we go back to being our throwing babies in the wood chipper selves. And that's that people have said a lot of things to me over the years, things that have been good and bad, some motivational, some extremely demotivational, some just pure hateful. But there's an aggregate that I get from you guys, and it's the aggregate I choose to believe that you guys genuinely express when you're communicating with me, even if you do it in a hateful way, and that is just keep going. And that's my same expression I give to you guys. That's what my attitude's been through this and through the last and through every single one of these little maladies. It's just keep going. We're gonna have some fun. Oh my god, unless we die in a tree. Alright, back to throwing babies and wood chippers. I mean, what else are you gonna do with them? They're not really edible. You could boil them, but then you'd have to eat soup, and like, oh, fuck that. Oh, right, we came for that dude. I really need to do some Tamo shopping, but he's closed, so I guess let's go pick up our drunk friend. What a loser, drinking beer and having to go to town. Wait a minute. I think I might be a loser. Come on now. Okay, so what was the audio problem here? No game sound? That's a lie. I can actually see it's the same. See, this is my problem. I wish I could show you this, guys. The audio is the same as my microphone audio in the levels meter. Anyway, I just turned it up. Alright. This thing doesn't have a horn, so I can't. Can you hear me revving my beast machine in the parking lot of a gas station? Oh, yeah. Making those little, those Arma whatever guys jealous. Oh, that almost ended poorly for you, sir. Does this town have a hospital? I have heard of some map changes taking place. Some minor changes. There's interesting stuff in the map. I've heard people say that Topless Gun is thinking about adding some new areas to the map. I'm not sure exactly where he's planning on doing that, but there's apparently some areas where there's whole chunks of forest missing, and he may be adding some stuff there. I don't know, there's been all kinds of cool changes to the game. Let's see, they added in... Also, please let me know if the audio level here is now. Is it okay now? Okay, maybe turn it down a bit, see? Whoa, you guys just saved my life. I tabbed out right when that guy was driving down the road at us so I could change the audio levels. And that probably prevented us from a head-on collision with Mr. Hitler over there. So, I was thinking about going one way, but then I decided to go the other way. You know, it's a shortcut. It's just a shortcut. Oh man, I love our new emotes too. I was so mad that I didn't get to stream right after we got those, and I do want to say thank you very much to Coconut Sales EO, a fellow streamer by the way. He's on my host list. He plays a lot of that new Running with Rifles game that's about delivering laundry. I can't remember it. It's the war one where you play you get in a truck and you deliver people's laundry. I don't know. Anyway, he plays that. Oh, hey, that's that car we smashed out. Yeah, I remember this. Okay, it's all coming together now. This was the one after we died of dehydration in a freshwater lake. Hey, Buckus, thank you for the 34-month resubscription. And also, the Percolate emote was a double emote made by a guy named Onyx, or Dralgonix. And I messed up in the naming of it, and the first one got submitted as just Percolate, and it couldn't have his name implemented in it. So I did give a little shout out on Twitter, and I am super grateful. It's just awesome that there are so many members of the JSP who are willing to toss in their couple of community involvements. Helps me out, helps you out, gives everybody some sweet emotes to spam when I get killed driving off a cliff. Not like Jeff, please. How you doing, man? He's managing to hold his liquor. That's good. No puke implementation. So I was going to talk about patch notes and stuff, but I was getting a little distracted by audio levels, which is fine. I didn't actually see there was an update this morning to my summer car, and I don't know what is in it, but I do have it. Whatever it was. He hadn't updated the experimental changelog yet. The ones I know about are the new electricity bill you have to pay, the new battery charging system. There's a new oil system where your oil can become degraded over time, and now there's a dipstick so you can check it and you can kind of visually see how your oil is doing. And from what I understand, the quality level of your oil will be like a modifier for how much damage your engine will take from normal wear and tear. So even though you don't have to change the oil when it gets really bad, if you keep driving around with shitty year-old oil in it, your engine's going to go up in smoke eventually. There's old Fleetari. So there's another change that has happened recently that is, I don't know about it. I'm not, I think it might be really bad. Oh, hey. Yeah, you get a little bit of that too. Yeah, piece of crap. That thing's just a van with less space. And he changed it so that when you put the wheels on a set, he's changed the way that wheels and tires work. So, this is something I always had a really hard time. Oh, it's the engine's too loud now? I'm sorry, your immersion. There's no pleasing you guys. Ow. See, I can't even enjoy a good banter with chat and a nice chuckle without occasionally stabbing my lung. So I was always really confused when I was a youth, back in my youthin days, because I always mistook tires and wheels for one another. I thought they were one and the same. I thought that the whole thing was just a wheel. Like, rim, nuts, throw in the axle too, why not? The rubber, everything. It's all just a wheel. But it turns out it's a little more complicated than that. There's the tire, there's the wheel, or the rims, as it were, with the spokes and stuff, and oh my god. I was monologuing, it's not my fault. But your house is, like, really far away, dude. Hang on. It's not hand job time yet. We're not there yet. Just keep that hand out. Now, don't forget to cup the balls. Why are you staring at me like that, man? Don't look at me while we're doing it, okay? Alright, just make with the hand job and get the fuck out of here. I don't even know you. We've never met. I don't love that man. I swear it. Oh, boy. What were we talking? Oh, yeah, tire tread. So, anyway, tires do have multiple parts, and the actual rubber on the tire is separate from all the rest of it, and so now the game actually deals with that. So when you buy tires, you don't just buy the tires. All you really get are the rims or the wheels, and you have to take those to Fleetari's shop and have him tread them for you. And the big thing with that change is that the wheels and tire setup you get for your Satsuma to start with will no longer pass inspection. So there is no way to get the Satsuma street or road ready or legal without taking at least one trip to Fleetari's shop and dropping off a full set of rims you bought online off of their catalog thingy. So that's a pretty major change, in my opinion. I don't know. That one seems a bit harsh, because I kind of like being able to get my Satsuma road ready. And also, hey, an Omnimoose. Please, that's fortuitous. Please not right now. And we're almost home. I think we're going to go home and work a little bit on the Satsuma, but we need to make some money. We did make, actually, a fair bit of money from giving that guy a ride home. He gave us something like $570, which is way more than I expected. So yeah, we're in a bit of a pickle when it comes to money, and obviously, as I've just said, it takes a lot more to get your car road ready or street legal than it used to. One minor quality of life change that I saw he added that I think is really nice is that it no longer matters which tire goes where or which wheel goes where. You can just put any wheel on any part of the car. So that's nice. There's no visual tread wear yet, which it'd be really nice if you had to do rotations and... Or maybe nice isn't the right word. It'd be very immersive if you had to do rotations and stuff, but... Other than that, I don't think that's anything else newer than that, anyway. How are the audio levels now? I just heard a thunder strike. I'm getting a bit spooked. We're not quite home yet, and I'm actually concerned because, like, we haven't had any money at all in this save file because I've been gambling on it, so our electricity might not be on when we get home, which will make things difficult. Difficult-er. Yeah, I'd like to get the Satsuma working, even if it's not super practical. Just because I want to have it done, and we're actually really close. We've already got the engine entirely assembled, minus one part. So all we have to do is the suspension, drop the engine in, and then give it a couple of test runs, and we're good to go. Aside from it not ever possibly being street legal due to patches. Patches? We don't need no stinking patches. Didn't hear the thunder? You haven't been dun 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 thunderstruck. See, I can make inflections like that. That's not a problem. It's only when I start to giggle and laugh. Like, I can growl a little bit. I could do a nice sultry voice. My phone sex career would be doing great with this kind of injury. Thank you for calling the Jef Stream hotline. It's very hot in here. I think I'm going to be taking off all of my... Oh, wait, I'm not wearing any. Oh, see? I can be sultry, but I just can't laugh about it afterwards. Oh, well, maybe that'll get rid of my silly, nervous laugh. I just ate a sausage off the floorboard of a van. That's what I call finished breakfast. Alright, so like I said, we got all the stuff laid out here for the suspension, but let's go look at the good news. That's the bad news. We got to do all of that. That stuff should be inside the car. It's not inside the car. This is the good news. That is a fully assembled engine unit, minus whatever that is. A header. There's a couple of extra pieces laying around, but it's not super problematic. Anyway, I do want to get this thing working, though. Even if we can't afford to get it working properly or nicely, we should have all this stuff. Yeah, we got the belt, we got the oil, that's for the bike, brake fluid and coolant, and we should have gasoline as well. And I believe we even have a battery, and this is the new battery charger. I think you just put the battery down basically next to it, and it'll put a couple clips on it. I don't know how to tell when it's done or whatever, but there it is. There was something else. Oh yeah, these guys. So like I said, this is now a wheel, but it's not a wheel front left or a wheel front right. It's just a wheel, which doesn't seem like a really big deal, but it's really important, and it's very nice. I'm sorry, it's really nice. Thank you, Wardog Mark IV, for the 33-month subscription. You guys are the bomb. Yeah, no, we don't have any mosquito spray. Does anybody know if the firewood guy will purchase firewood on the weekend? Let's do a little... We're doing a double play shower here. It's a golden shower and a regular shower, all in one. Amazing. Now we can taste the golden spray. People who don't donate a new rib cage to me will be banned. I already have one. It's just that one of my... It's got a hole in it. It's not really a hole. You know what's actually really scary is the day, like, after I got the second set of x-rays, when I'd had like a lot of bruising and swelling on my chest, and that finally started to go down, and I'd been afraid to touch or poke at my side at all, but this was before they put the brace on because they still thought it was a muscle tear, and I remember poking down in my left side, and you could feel it move, like a whole... It wasn't like free moving, but it shouldn't have been moving at all. I'm not going to touch that at all anymore. Fuck that. I'm staying out of that business. I don't want to know what's going inside my torso. I'll worry about the outside for now. So let's see if there's anything new in the catalog. Ooh, what is that? They see me riding, they stallion. Trying to catch me, stallion. Rim? No, they're shock suspension. Oh, right, there's been another change to the Satsuma's, This isn't the correct term, but I find it amusing. The Satsuma's flight model has been updated. They've changed the way that downforce works and aerodynamics of the car. So theoretically, even these ridiculous Taka spoilers should do something, maybe. Also, oh, you know what that reminds me? There's seatbelts in the game by default, and I do believe that I just did an illegal act by driving the van without one, because I'm pretty sure every single car now has seatbelts by default. In fact, let's go check. Let me go find out if I just committed seatbelt fraud. Is that what you get arrested for? You're under arrest, sir. You've committed fraudulent seatbelt dealings. Oh, wow! Alright, well, this part is incredible. That is super cool. It even makes annoying elastic noises. So you could annoy the shit out of your parents on a road trip. What are you doing? I'm firing my catapult, Dad. Shh, I'll turn this car around this instant, young lady. Or sir, or whatever. So yeah, I guess all seats have belts now. And supposedly these actually do reduce the frequency with which you will just die in a car accident. Not completely, kind of like the seatbelt you can buy for the Satsuma, although they are supposedly far less powerful or less protective than the one you get from the Satsuma. So I think that's all the new stuff, unless there was something added this morning. So without further ado, let's go find my tool set and go to work. Get your hard hats on, everybody. It's percolate time. What the hell? Yeah, that's seatbelt physics, man. That's next-gen shit. Watch out, Xbox 200 or whatever you're on by now. So this guy, you could put this on after you install it in the block hole or the engine hole. I think that's the orifice's name on a car. You put the, let's see, the tailbone's connected to the leg bone, and the engine bone's connected to the engine hole bone, if I recall my car anatomy correctly. You can see I'm well versed on skeletal anatomy of cars. Yeah, the seatbelt is a bit ghostly, or I am. I don't know, it's weird. You can see yourself kind of smoking a cigarette if you're in the car in the external mode, which is a bit weird. You're like a disembodied hand floating around in the Finnish wonderland. Alright, are you all good in there? Strapped down nice and tight like a toiger? Looks good. So this guy we're going to have to get up on the lift and drop it in the engine compartment, but that's probably going to be after we do the suspension. Basically right now we need money, but I don't think we can go deliver our firewood until Monday, and it's currently Mortal Sunday, so we're going to have to mortally wait another mortal day, and in the meantime, we might as well build us a car. What do you guys say? Car time? Car? Let's make us a car. First step, we got to get a tool. This is your car constructing hammer. Now you just place the pieces of the car on the crafting grid in the correct order, and then strike it with a hammer, and then bam, car is formed. No, you have to build it by hand. Let's go! No crafting grid here. Well, I mean, you know, kind of. It is a crafting grid of a sort. So we're going to have to put something in to attach the engine to. This will be our subframe. It is so much less than a regular frame, and so much more than not a frame at all. So today is Garbage Day. We are probably going to get a visit from Mr. Garbage Man. I think it's not Recycle Day, though, so we're going to have to be careful and make sure we get the actual Garbage Man, because he's only going to come by once. So we only got one shot at this. On Recycle Days, we get a twofer, but Garbage Days, we got to be on our game, ready to go. And I'm not going to get up and chase him around. I doubt I'll even yell at him. The problem is that the door and window that I communicate with my Garbage Man through via yelling are on my left side, and if I rotate my body to the left, I will probably die immediately. Alright, let's get some wishy bones on this thing. Is this the front left? It is the front left. So these things, unlike the wheels, still do have their, whoops, front and left and right designators, and that was not supposed to pop off like that. World Star! I think there's a bolt over here I'm missing. Yep. That mosquito is driving me mad. It's driving you guys mad because that mosquito's driving me mad, and we don't have any mosquito spray, nor do we have the money to buy any. Life is terrible for us right now. We're in mosquito hell. We're gonna get Zika. It's a foregone conclusion at this point. Malarial fun. Now that'd be a really interesting requirement for this game, and very Far Cry 2 if they added in malarial treatments. Anybody remember that Far Cry 2? You had to fucking constantly give yourself malaria treatments just to stay alive. Like, wow. Shut up, Dark Souls. Oh, you think you're fucking tough? Have you ever had to take a malarial treatment while you were dodge rolling? I don't think so. I'm doing okay, Poppin' Fresh. It's good to see you guys. I'm so glad that you guys are hanging out and showing up and being supportive. Although you don't even have to be supportive. You could tell me I'm a piece of shit. Like I said, I'm going to take a positive message out of it anyway. Mostly I'm just glad to be back streaming again because I was so fucking bored. It sounds dismissive to say that because I know a lot of you guys were, you know, people go through stuff, and it helps to have somebody goofing around to laugh at and take you away from things, and I like to do that for people. It brings me a sense of joy in a pretty harsh, fucked up world. So not being able to do that has been a bit depressing. But I do want to say, and what I wanted to say was not to mitigate that, but the boredom is the worst part. I swear to fucking God, guys, strapped into a recliner, unable to sleep, unable to get up, unable to use my keyboard for a week, with nothing but an iPad. I became my nephews. I just sat around on a sofa playing games on my tablet. It was just like being 7. It was, I mean, you know, it's got its charm, but you can only watch so many episodes of Gumball and SpongeBob before you start to... Because I'm not turning on the news, man. I'm a grown-up. I'm going to watch real shows like Gumball and SpongeBob. I don't want that kid stuff like the news. Shit. Oh my God, every little giggle just hurts. The giggling was the thing I was most worried about. That is a hilarious statement in its own right. My largest medical concern was with my giggling. Thanks, Derpy Turtle Man. Alright, I'm confused now. DuckTales? Fuck yeah, dude. I would watch the shit out of some DuckTales, but they don't show it anymore. It's all SpongeBob. Although I really do think Gumball's pretty good. They got some subversive humor in there, man. I was sitting down watching Gumball with my youngest nephew, and they were taking YouTube to the fucking cleaners. They were throwing shade like you wouldn't even believe. I was like, wow, not only do these guys know what YouTube is, but they know what's wrong with it, and that's pretty impressive for a kid's show. What in the hell am I doing wrong here? Besides all the things I normally do wrong. Yeah, that's not supposed to happen. You guys are supposed to be friends. I think I'm supposed to put the half shaft here. I'd put a quarter shaft or a 2/3 shaft or a 3/4 shaft if we had one, but all we have is this half shaft. And I think we have to put the shaft... Oh! Hang on a minute. Yeah, I'm getting the ordering wrong on this. Maybe this goes on first? Maybe everything goes on first? You know what, though, DuckTales? As much as for me, DuckTales was all about the theme song. I mean, I liked the... Who was that Cyclops dude that had... I don't remember if he was a Cyclops, but he was a duck and he had a single... Launchpad. Launchpad was my favorite from DuckTales. But honestly, I preferred, like... No, I don't mean to offend all the DuckTales fans out there, but I was far more into Tailspin and Darkwing Duck at the time. Those were the edgy, like, grown-up kids shows. Yeah. You dive into your pile of coins, Scrooge McDuck. I'm gonna solve a murder with Darkwing Duck. 'Cause when there's trouble, you call DW. Fuck. Holy shit. Oh, God, it's almost painful. It is painful. I am totally at a loss for what to do with this thing. It doesn't have any bolts for me to tighten. There's not a single bolt on it that I can find. I've looked pretty carefully. The one thing I can think of is, let's go grab the car jack, because there might be a bolt underneath there. Fantasia was pretty good. Yeah, Tailspin was way underrated. You know what I didn't like about Tailspin? It didn't have a catchy theme song. And, like, so many people were into shows almost entirely for just the theme song. Alright, car. Let's just talk about this. How about we do it the correct way and use a proper lifting tool? Never mind. That's also not going to work. That might work. Yeah. Okay. That seems better. Yeah, Tailspin had the 000 bit, but oh, there is a bolt down there. Who'd have thunk it? Who would have thunk it? It looks like a big one, too. So yeah, I'm a little over my... I know the last time I played My Summer Car, I was a bit salty, and I think I was just in kind of a shit mood and had been playing too much My Summer Car. So I'm feeling actually quite refreshed after a break, and I'm not so upset about the bolt sizes, and I'm not really feeling whiny about that. I mostly just want to play around and go explore the new changes and change my oil and pay my electrical bill and be a grown-up. Someday I'll be a real boy. Alright, get on there and stay on there this time, you little bastard. So that one, I remember, you don't want to tighten this one until you get the half shaft on. Otherwise, it won't be on. It'll just be a half shaft. Probably shouldn't have closed that. Tales of the Golden Monkey? I think I've heard of that, but I don't know. There was, you know, I mean, there was generational stuff. Like, when I was super, super young, I remember I sat down and watched the old He-Man versus Skeletor with my brother, but I don't remember any of that, like, at all. I couldn't even probably point out the show from another at this point, because it was so long ago, and I was way too young. You remember the stuff when you were a little bit older, you know, I remember the DuckTales, the Darkwing Ducks, that stuff. I don't remember what probably the last... Yo, you know what was a really cool cartoon? The fucking X-Men, dude. Man, that was my most disappointing thing about the new modern X-Men franchises. No goddamn Sentinels, because in the cartoon of the X-Men, the Sentinels were badass giant mecha robot suits that flew around and shot rockets and stuff. And then they made the movie and they were like, well, we gotta fight a guy with a sword. But what the fuck? Bring Sentinels, man. They're fucking awesome. Dude, more Sentinels, please. That was a totally dank cartoon. Now it's all just franchise wars. No. It's okay. It's okay. So this is the steering column. Seems important. Probably should install it at some point. Or no, this isn't the steering column. This is a steering rod. I believe that's what it is. There was an X-Men animated cartoon on Nick with Sentinels. That might be the one I was talking about. It was an older X-Men cartoon, and it was really, really good. Although, you know, I put it in there with, like, do you remember the Batman cartoon? It's very well respected. Mark Hamill did the Joker in it, and it's, like, considered one of the greatest animated series of all time, as far as I know. I'd put it up there with that. The old X-Men series. I think they were just about as good. Alright, car. Get down on the ground. Well, which is it, young Satsuma? You want I should freeze or get down on the... I'm not going to do the whole quote. I've done it so many times. You guys know it by heart by now. You guys, chat, do it for me. Do the quote. Do it. Be recidivist. Embrace your inner recidivism. Hi, son. You got a panty on your head. See, like, there's so many great quotes from that movie. I gotta move on. I gotta embrace the diversity and otherness. Son, you got a panty on your head. I know. Alright, so you're good. Well, we all know there's no good or evil. There's only Satsuma. There's only Percolate. I need a 15, and then we gotta strap down all these. These little fuckers are tiny. So I think it was a... What was this friggin' huge one? I don't know, but whatever size spanner I'm currently holding is the correct one. SWAT cats? Yeah, that was it. Oh, God! I don't know why I just thought of this. I think it was because of anime, but you guys were talking about anime. There was a time of a conversion where, like, I think that was my thing, is I got out just at... And if I remember correctly, the onus for that animeification of American TV was Pokemon. The cartoon show, which I did not watch, because when that started airing, I was way too cool for that. I was like 17, so no, I'm not watching that kid stuff. I was gonna go watch grown-up stuff like Darkwing Duck. There was another show I just remembered that I remember thinking that this was like pure art when I saw it. Remember the cartoon Gargoyles? Oh my God, that show hit some fucking notes, man. I remember that show resonating. I was on board the Gargoyles train, but something happened and they got canceled, or I don't remember exactly what it was, but it didn't go the way I thought it would, because Gargoyles was the shit. It was dark and kind of mean. I liked it. I mean, you know, I'm not dark or mean. I'm a bright ray of sunshine. All I want to do is cuddle things to death. I mean, out of love. That does not look tightened at all. That looks really loose. But it is totally tightened. Okay, let's put a wheel on there. Have us a really good time. More round object puns as we go along. Moving forward. That's cool, Counterfeit. Yeah, like I said, I'm not saying I was right. I'm just saying that that was my attitude at the time. Was I'm too old for this cartoon, and then I went back to watching my other cartoons. Exo Squad? I don't remember that. See, that's the thing. There were so many cartoon kid shows all over the world too, and you never know which ones are gonna leave an impact on you or even make you remember them. Ah, well, we all have our own little childhoods, and we kind of grab onto the little nuggets of stuff and carry it with us, and that's what's cool about connecting with people over large geographical areas, is because you might be surprised what you share with some people and your upbringing. Like, I too was raised on morality and ethics, learned primarily from children's cartoons, which probably explains a lot. Invader Zim, yes, although you'll get... People will throw you shade for that now. They'll call you an emo and all sorts of names, but I don't give a shit. I've been a long time Jonan Vasquez fan. I love Johnny the Homicidal Maniac, even the other little one about the doll. I've been a huge fan of his forever, and I guess that makes me an emo or whatever, but wah. Cut myself. Cut my life into pizzas. Because really, pizzas are amazing. And 2 of them. Holy shit. Yeah, cut my life in 2 pizzas, please. Feed a family of 4. I don't know what size this thing is, so we're doing the whole gamut. Oh, that's not even the part I'm supposed to tighten. Herp. Derp. Yeah, Invader Zim is incredible. And not just because of the Gur fandom. You know, I get it. He's cute. It was me. I was in the turkey the whole time. More than that, it was a really good show. I loved the tall ones. There was a species of aliens, and their whole leadership was based on who was the tallest. So nobody was any good at being a leader. They were all complete idiots. Because their selection method was based on who was the tallest among them. And that was how Zim got on his particular mission. I don't know. Obviously, you could probably tell I watched too many cartoons when I was a kid. I don't watch hardly any cartoons anymore. Nope, I'm too cool for that now, he said again later in life, knowing the first time he was wrong. No, I don't know. I watch Gumball. Religiously. No, I like to watch cartoons with my nephews and stuff. Because I always remember being left alone with cartoons. I don't like that. You should help your kid watch a cartoon. They need help. Like, sometimes you need to have them explain to you why the guy with the laser beam eyes can't just go shoot everyone to death and save the day. He's got freaking laser beams for eyes. Come on, man. Quit being so lazy. Cyclops. With your stupid sunglasses. Go fry some sentinels, you wacko. Alright, this guy I remember being a big hassle because he's got bolts up top and below. That's a nut. Looks like a toughie, but let's crack it. Yeah, I heard some weird stuff, some rumblings about Blizzard doing some sort of WoW Warcraft 3 thing. I honestly don't know what that's all about, but I'm terrified of it because every time Blizzard does anything, it sucks the souls out of a number of my friends and family members. Oh well, I guess I'll see him eventually. What size are you, please? Here we go. The rage is coming. The rage is coming. I just want to turn a bolt. I don't even care. Just spin it. Alright, let's be methodical. Is it you? Probably not. 6. No. 7. No. Shouldn't the spring be on there too? No. 8. No. 9. Also no. 10. Come on. We can do this. Just gotta go one by one. Be patient. 11. This is awful. 12. Please. Yes! For some reason, it's a 12. I have no idea why that's a 12. It doesn't look like a 12. It looks like an 8. But it's a 12. So now we know for sure. Glad we got that figured out. I don't know if I can plug this guy in here without breaking everything off first, but I'd really like to get the top bolt tightened while I have the 12 spanner in my hand. That's not going to happen, though. Unless those happen to be 12s too. Holy sh... Now I feel like a royal idiot. We were using a 12 the whole time, and then we switched and got confused. Do I ever use the screwdriver or that crank? They have very specific uses. The screwdriver is only used for adjusting your carburetor, making sure that it properly berates your car when it's getting out of hand. And, or that thing, it also is for adjusting your timing belt, or tightening your alternator, that is. The other one is, it really is just a spark plug, I don't know if it's called a spark plug wrench, but there you go, it's called a spark plug wrench, and all it does in the whole wide world is tighten spark plugs. It does nothing else, ever, at all, no matter what. It just tightens spark plugs. There is another tool set as well that I think is a lot better than this one, but it's expensive, and we're going to have to earn some money to get it. We're almost done with the suspension here, though, so keep hanging with me, guys. We'll get through this together. Team JSP will do the thing. Alright. 2 of these. I don't know, I kind of like being totally broke. All my other My Summer Car streams and saves, we've had loads of cash from just doing work and jobs. And this one, I've had a really strong aversion to doing these worky jobs. So, we're totally out of money. And missing a lot of the bare essentials. Were you right about that? Does that go on first? Wow. Well, thank you for trying to save me all this trouble, guy in chat who said I should put the spring on first, but I thought I knew better. I was pretty sure that the spring went on after all the rest of that mumbo-jumbo. Turns out, however, I might actually still go on afterwards. I'm totally immersed in this, though. This mosquito is really bringing home the feeling of being totally broke, stranded. Let's have one of our few remaining sausage packs. These are both empty. I don't even think we have... Yeah, we don't even have the Killju bucket yet. That is my preferred method for gaining monetary satisfaction in this game, though. And I think I'd like to try to get that started today to see if we can set up our Killju Brewing Enterprise. It's tough to make an enterprise with only one bucket, but fuck it. We're gonna do it anyway. Take all your problems and throw them in the fuck it bucket. Now they're not your problems anymore. Well, they are. They're still your problems. They're just in a bucket now for easy storage and transport. Yay! You're welcome. Yeah, I think we're gonna be good for a nice hefty stream here. Like, the past couple of weeks, I hadn't even really been able to sit at my computer chair because of just how awkward the compression top and brace were. But it's been pretty good today. I'm not even feeling any major agony at the moment. Except for when I giggle like a schoolgirl, which is pretty frequent. Alright, let's see what order this... Where did that just go? Okay, I thought it went to Space Narnia for a minute, and I was going to get really concerned, because that means another trip to the junkyard. It looks like you were absolutely right, person in chat. Confirmed. Who would have ever thought that I could be wrong about something? Unimaginable. The humanity. Oh, now I've really done it. Now what's wrong? I think I might need to tighten this little fella over here. He looks like a 15. That was rude, I'm sorry. You look like a 14, Mr. Bolt. I didn't mean to disparage your boltliness there. I told you I've got 2 months despite it dropping. Well, cordial, thank you for your continued support regardless. I don't know, don't worry too much about those things. It is really nice to see high numbers, but I know who you are. Most of you fuckers. And consecutive isn't really the point. It's just a really nice thing to do. It's like super supportive and really, really, really beneficial for me and my entire family and my life in general. But it's not a requirement, yo. And I always want to make sure people don't have to pay to enjoy the Jef Stream program. That's why I don't run a lot of ads, and that's why I don't like using slow mode and sub mode and all that crap. I like to be a man of the people. Even if I do believe that they don't deserve a vote, and I would eat them all if given the opportunity. And I was really hungry. I'm What in the fuck? Do I have to put the whole wheel on first? No, there's something going on here. That was on... So we had to take this off to put the spring on. But because the spring is on, we can no longer put this on. It's possible I might need to save and reload as well. Sometimes parts get buggy and fucked up like that. You're gonna have to reload it. Save scumming, no. No, I don't play my summer car that way. I like to take my deaths on the chin. I like to earn them. I earned a few of them last time. I remember the last my summer car stream. We died a lot. It was an ongoing saga of death and destruction. Let's get you in there. No, it's definitely bugged. Because this was totally going on before. Now will it go on? Yeah, this part is broken for the moment. I think we're going to have to save and reload it. Like I said, it happens. And it's primarily because I did it in the wrong order anyway. So yeah, let's just toss these over on the side. Maybe we can do this side, though. So that guy probably has to come off. Yeah. We'll take them both off at the same time before we do the save and reload, because that way, if one of them's bugged, the other one can get bugged too, and we won't even notice. We won't even have to worry about it. Not my fucking problem. How much am I worth? Oh my goodness, you can get a really good deal on your local Jef. I am worth about $12.75. I assume you're not serious. I don't know, like, I've never been really, public with my finances with you guys, but it's not because I'm hiding anything. It's because nobody's really asked me, and I think it's because mostly people don't really give a shit. I'm not wealthy, but I'm not doing bad. I'm okay. I got, you know, you guys keep me in house and home. I've got a little bit of food to eat. I got some noodles and just coffee, and I'm all right. I'm not a big material person. I don't need a bunch of toys. I can get by with what I got. I got internet and TV. I got a car. I have insurance. I pay for gas. I'm a grown-up, kind of, physically. I think that's the accurate way to put that. I am physically a mature adult human being. The rest is yet to be seen. See, it's not just me. It's everything. Oh, that was already unscrewed. Maybe that was why I couldn't plug the thing in. Well, out of curiosity, can you go in there now? We just unplugged it, and it still can't go in there. So it seems like this part is probably really problematic. Either that, or I'm totally getting the build order wrong again. Do these have a front left? No, they're just shock absorbers. They go there. I know that. It's saying that it shouldn't have that spring on it, though. Which doesn't seem right, because you can't put the spring on it with the shock absorber on it at the same time. So, what? Help. Someone send me a help file. How does machine go together? Alright, we'll put the springs on it for now and save it and reload it and see if we can get any better luck that way. It's also possible something isn't quite screwed in there just right. Looking a little self-conscious there, Mr. Car. What are you trying to hide? You gotta pee really bad? You gotta pee really, really bad? What if I just jostled you a little bit? Ooh, hold it in, car. That was rude. Don't do that to someone if they have to pee really bad. Don't just jostle them like that. That is rude. Alright. Well, let's do a proper save. Unload some of our bodily fluids beforehand. You do kind of need the back wheels. Less so the front ones. And we could probably run it on 3. I feel like the game's gotten a lot more rough and tumble over the time that it's been in early access development. And you can get away with a lot more stuff than you used to be able to. Not legally, but, you know, I mean, as far as driving the Satsuma with missing parts. It works pretty well, despite missing many of its important pieces. Such joy. So sad. Such joy. Sad again. Happy. I really do like the menu music. You can put in the entire brake system and fill it up before you insert the engine. Should I? That doesn't seem super important. It also doesn't seem like a bad idea. Seems easy enough to do. Just not sure quite what the benefit is. Looking good, Mr. Carr. Looking good. The sad face, happy face just turns on and off the menu music. That is quite literally all it ever does. Hey, look at that. Spring and shock absorber at the same time. That's what I'd do if I had $1 million. I'd do a spring and a shock absorber at the same time. Take about $1 million to get a spring and a shock absorber to double up on a dude like me. That one actually didn't sting. I'm impressed. Okie dokie. Gotta finish my cigarette before we pull the spanners out. Can't quite multitask like that. Quantum Physics, thank you so much for the Twitch Prime subscription. My dude, I hope I haven't missed any. There have been a lot. I've been doing my best to keep up, but, you know, I'm sorry if I missed you. Forgive Senpai. And me as well. Delicious carcinogens that will inevitably kill me and lead me to an early grave. My favorite. Also, smelling like shit all the time is great. Don't smoke, kids. Not even for all the reasons they tell you, but for all the reasons they don't tell you. There's plenty. Unless you're really stressed out and in Finland and building a car, and then fucking slam a beer, grab some fish booze, take a pack of cigarettes, and get building. I know the top one is a 12, so I guess we're going to start there. Go with what you know. And that one I don't know. How did you get over here? You drum ass. Break? Cigarettes are the #1 leading cause of percolate-related injuries. Now you know. The more you know. Gold star and a rainbow. Those little PSAs, man. They don't do PSAs anymore. They just... it's just like horrible things now. Used to be like, take care of yourself. That was what you'd see in the news and on TV. Be good. Now it's just like, billions dead. Everything's on fire. Fuck it, fuck it, fuck it. We're all gonna die. Current events. The Sylvia Plath edition. Hey, Arzanata, thank you so much for the Twitch Prime resubscription, my dude. Congratulations, Guild C. That's something that I highly recommend. If you ever do have any kind of medical issue as a smoker, take that opportunity to try to relieve yourself from that horrible ball and chain. Few in life are worse. I don't like to judge and tell people how to live their lives. I do not like to do that. But some things are, I don't know. I think of you guys sort of like my nephews, and I certainly would not allow, if I saw my nephew with a cigarette in his hand, I would tackle him, and I would fucking tie him to a tree. I'd fucking figure out a way to make sure that he made the correct associations with those things. Because that's all I'm trying to do, is make sure you guys get the correct associations from me. Whatever else you encounter in life, I can't control that. But you only hear one thing from me on that regard. We got wheels. Let's see if it works. Oh, look at that. Glides. It just glides. It's like a streamlined butterfly. Although I do notice I am missing whatever these are. Steering rods. Those sound important. I should probably put those in. Maybe. Someday. What have I done now? Hey, P-Gun, thank you so much for the Twitch Prime resubscription, my dude. That is very wobbly. Very wobbly indeed. Buzzing with my mosquito friend. What was this, front left? Front right. Ah, there we go. That'll do it. I got my steering rods switched up and decombobulated. Oh no. No, 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 no. Oh! I saw it. I saw it. Yes. I thought I was going to have to take this whole thing apart to put that thing on. Oh, but we saw it. It happened. Craigasm. I don't have to take the whole thing apart. I'm so relieved. How about you? Do you want to get in there too? Come on, buddy. The water's fine. Bingo. Sweet goodness. Alright, that's looking pretty good. Let's get our fire extinguisher installed. Because I am planning on having some fires. If there's a fire extinguisher, I will find a way to make a fire so we can extinguish it. I don't think we will be able to, though. It's actually quite difficult. Without killing yourself. I'd say it's probably pretty easy to start fires in non-mortal mode, but in mortal mode, starting a fire and living to tell about it are probably pretty infrequent. So I think you screw those in and then you can snap this guy in there. Is that right? Yeah. Something like that. So is everything tightened down in here? Absolutely not. No, not even remotely. We've got to tighten the steering rod parts here. I don't remember if it's the top one or the bottom one that controls the alignment, but we don't want to mess with the one that does too much anyway. I hope it's not that one. Are you the good bolt or the bad bolt? The good bolt. Beautiful. Something about garbage day indeed. A ruptured spleen. I'm doing better than I would if I had a ruptured spleen, I can tell you that much. Although that was a possibility when you get a dislocated floating rib. That was one thing they were worried about, was internal organ puncturing. Turns out my rib is just floaty enough to not puncture my organs. Yay! Okay, so engine's done. It's sitting right there. We gotta get the rest of this undercarriage and stuff in first, though, so I'm gonna go ahead and push this over the valley of death there, and probably directly into it, because we don't have a steering wheel in yet. I'm steering with my balls right now, as we learned to do in our space program days. That was interesting. The front right wheel wasn't actually spinning. Like walking around with my hands out like this, just ready to give someone a shove. And fuck you in particular. Of course. Wow, I am strong. Saved. No, don't do it, don't do it, don't. You did it. Alright, let's see if I'm strong enough again. I'm too strong. Maybe we just push from here. Maybe just push from bottom. Yes? Oh boy. Perhaps I should install the steering wheel first, or maybe at least give it a rudimentary alignment so it's not flying constantly into the hole. Yeah. Perfectly aligned with the hole. You gotta give me some credit for that. That's not easy to do. Totally planned it that way, too. I was sitting here thinking to myself, how can I get my car into a hole in the ground in the most efficient way possible? Little did I know, I'd be just moments away from showing you guys. Please don't fall in the hole this time, you piece of crap. Looking good. Sort of. It doesn't actually need to be... Actually, yes, it does need to be pushed all the way down there. Because we're going to have to get... No, don't do it! Don't freaking do it, man. It's not worth it. Won't you step back from that ledge, Satsuma? Alright. That's probably close enough for us to get underneath there and install that exhaust system. But it also gives us an opportunity to look at our undercarriage business and see if we got anything installed incorrectly. And there's one really important thing I need to make sure we get, which is the fuel bolt tightened right there. But we have to install the fuel tank first. That is the one thing I always forget, and it always ends up screwing me out of a perfectly good Satsuma. So, say it with me. Not today. What do we say to the god of derp? Not today. Maybe tomorrow. Yes, tomorrow sounds good. I'll have some derp and and mistakes tomorrow. But for today, I'd also just like to get my car working. And again, we can't even do anything else until the weekend's over, so this is really just a perfect way for us to spend our mortal Sunday. Hey, Afrolicious, thank you so much for the 15-month resubscription. Welcome back to here. Not sure who the god of derp would be. Maybe Homer Simpson? Yeah, I'm gonna go with Homer Simpson. Aw, $20. I wanted a peanut. $20 can be used to buy many peanuts. I still wanted a peanut. Poor Homer. He just wanted his peanut. I don't know. I like Homer's attitude. I think the thing that best exemplifies Homer's attitude and state of mind for me was the episode where they went to Japan, and Marge and Maggie and Bart and Lisa all saw a cartoon on the TV called Battle Seizure Robots, and they all immediately fell on the ground and started having seizures. Homer walked in and he saw them all laying on the ground having seizures, and even though he didn't watch the cartoon, he decided to join in and rolled on the ground moaning and wailing with them, because what the hell, everybody else was doing it. That's why I love me some Homer Simpson. He wasn't even having seizures, but he wasn't gonna miss out on a good time like that. Fuck it. Throw down. That sounds fun. There we go. Can I pick up that sledgehammer and start hammering people? I don't know if it works on people. Maybe we'll throw it in the van next time we go out and try it out. Try a little people smashing. It's sort of like people watching, but worse and illegal and just generally cruel. So let's do it. Alright. Muffler on there so the car won't give me so much back talk. That's right, car. I hear you talking shit. I heard you was talking shit. I thought I'd swing by with a muffler to shut you up. I think these are 11s. Some of these parts you get to change them up so much you remember. Unlike this muffler, which I obviously don't. Maybe 10? Maybe 9? That's an 8. Anyway, like I was saying, I obviously remember this bolt's size is 11. Point. Not again. We just did this. No. 7? 7. It was 11.7. Exactly like I predicted. Confirmed. That is not a garbage truck I hear outside, by the way. That is an airplane or helicopter. And man, if they ever do helicopter-based garbage recovery, I want to be a pilot in that. I will join the garbage Air Force any day. I just hope it's a really, like, give me a C-130 with a hook line and just put your garbage cans outside in a line and hope for the best. I'm coming through. Flying low. Sometimes when you attach this, it knocks the muffler off if you haven't got it attached properly first. Also, this exhaust pipe is particularly annoying to get on here, and I really, really don't recommend trying this without doing it from below. Now, those ones attach to the engine, but you can screw them in before putting in the engine because the game is just sort of weird like that. And, you know, don't think about it too much. It's fun. It's okay. Just try not to think about it too much. Grin and bear it. Yeah, like that scene in the Batman movie where he got hooked up off of a skyscraper in China or something. Wow, why do people like those Nolan Batman movies? Why? He was just a big, strong, angsty guy that got angry and where is he? And he punched people. Yeah, the Joker was pretty cool, but what? I don't know. I'm not a big fan of Nolan's Dark Knight series. I don't like the Snyder stuff. I love Batman. I think he's one of my favorite superheroes, but I just don't like the way the movies are doing him. Just that one scene, the one warehouse fight scene from Civil War. That was the only cinematic version of Batman I choose to believe in, because it basically looked exactly like Arkham Asylum. And I am okay with that. Yeah, Batman was the world's greatest freaking detective. He didn't go around punching people and getting into fistfights over girls. Okay, well, he probably did. Actually, if I remember correctly, in the Batman comics in the very beginning, he was kind of a murderer, and he shot people with guns. Like, real guns. So, I don't know, maybe we should lower our Batman standards a little bit. He was a vigilante psycho killer. It's not like he doesn't know that. Oh, no. Not again. Okay. Man, I'm fondling the crap out of my Satsuma this morning. I gotta just get it locked down and settle it in. Okay, we gotta do the e-brake so I can tighten that brake line. And all the other ones. And then we're gonna have to install the brake system, and I haven't installed a bunch of other stuff. So good. We get many more things to do, although we are getting really very fatigued, and I do have to worry about dying of fatigue. Let's try not to do that, shall we? What the mouse sensitivity was going on there? Why 1.5 arms? My left arm is immobilized from the shoulder to the elbow at the moment, so I've only got my... I'm essentially 2 wrists right now. I can't do a lot of left arm flapping, and if I were to try to fly somewhere, I'd probably crash into the ground. Which totally would not be normally the case when I had both of my arms working, because I could flap them really, really hard, and that would make me fly, obviously. Alright, we got the e-brake in, brake lining. Anyway, the arm immobilization thing, it's like... It's because I have a dislocated rib, so I'm wearing a compression top. It's similar to the ones quarterbacks wear in the NFL all the time, but these ones are designed to brace your ribs into the position they're supposed to be. It's only on one side. The other side is just a big Velcro patch. And then there's this little... It's like an armature. I don't know what else to call it, but it's like a bunch of straps of these sort of translucent... It's not plastic, but it's like a polymer that strap my left shoulder directly to my torso so I can't move it around. But I can move everything below the elbow just fine, so if I wanted to give somebody a quick punch in the nuts, I could probably do that. Maybe not, that would probably end up backfiring on me. So yes, I have a bit of a hole in my left wing. That is mostly just a War Thunder meme, which really... Why are we still doing War Thunder memes in 20_current_year, everybody? Fuck Gaijin. What the hell? Pieces of crap. I don't like them. A bunch of jerks. My problems with Gaijin, though, are entirely based off of their aircraft roster. Okay? I don't have anything to say about their pay-to-win, their free-to-play, any of that stuff. All I have to say is Tier 5 German jets that never existed in World War II except for on paper. That's all I gotta say. Those are playable. They're easy to get. They're stupid overpowered. They have gigantic cannons on them. They would never have flown in real life, and yet they are playable in the game. No, sir. No, that's why I don't like Gaijin, is because they take... Like, during World War II, they were developing new technologies constantly, and a lot of those technologies only ever existed on paper. And so to put that stuff in a competitive game based on World War II, like to actually implement it as it was put on paper the way they thought it would work, even though we know now it would never work, that is so absolutely fucking stupid. That is not a good idea. Don't drag your spanner set through the world. It will fall, and you'll have to go to the junkyard. Hey, Korgon, thank you from America to Norway. My Scandinavy bros and sailing around in their Scandinavy. Is that what that is? I think I might be wrong about that. Are you guys? Are we not? Is it not Scandinavians? Are they from somewhere else? Pretty sure they were in the Scandinavy. Junior lieutenant. What about the tank battles? Oh, I forgot about those. Yeah, I guess that's fair too. I mostly just complained about the airplane stuff though. I'm sure on a long enough timeline I would have found time to complain about everything, but I only had so much time in a working day to complain about airplanes. I liked the flight model in it. It was fun. The combat was pretty fun. It was just that the tiers and the game modes were awful. The arcade mode didn't give any rewards, or not enough anyway, and the competitive mode was just a total clusterfuck of everybody playing Axis with these stupid overpowered planes, and the Allies always lost because their planes were based off of... See, this is the thing, like, this is what Gaijin does. There's a real plane called the P-51 Mustang that actually flew many missions during World War II. It was widely produced. We know everything about it. We know what it could do. We know what it couldn't do. We know what it was good at. We know what it was bad at. And so in the implementation in the game, the P-51 is pretty crap because we know all the things about it. But then you get the HO-229, I believe, which was this German monstrosity it was a delta wing jet plane that they imagined might work. They never made it, or they made a miniature model of one, and then they made a chassis of one, none of which ever saw airtime or flight or anything. And they implemented both of those planes into the game. A P-51 with all its flaws, known from its service, and a totally made-up imaginary piece of crap bullshit with laser cannons on it from fucking space. No, that's just stupid. That's like 99% of my problem with War Thunder and Gaijin. What the hell were they thinking? You don't go off the design documents. Go off of what it was. That game, that plane, the HO-229 or whatever, if that's the one I'm thinking of, in the game, it should never take off. It should immediately explode. You buy it, you put it on the launch pad, you say, hit the engine, it catches fire and explodes, and it says, hey man, next time spend your money on a plane that actually existed, you idiot. That's what it should do. That's what it would do if I was in charge of War Thunder. Holy mother of God, this took me 100 years while I was monologuing to find the right bolt. I'm just projecting it's not that bad. No, it's not. It really isn't that bad. Like I said, I like War Thunder, I like the flight model, I even like the tank battle stuff. Honestly, my entire problem with the game is that one airplane. That one. And it's like a spiritual problem almost. It's like I'm metaphysically opposed to it. I am angered by the concept of it, that they would consider it, that they would place actual tried and tested legendary military hardware in the same battlefield as imaginary fucking military porn made up by people probably high as shit on methamphetamines. Like, told we should make a plane with jets and cannons. Yeah, that'll work great in 1942, idiot. Sure, you got this. I believe in you. So yeah, no, that's not what I mean. Like, I kind of like War Thunder. Just that fucking plane, man. It shouldn't exist. It didn't exist. Just let it go, Gaijin. I know you think Germany is better than America, but I don't agree with you. I know you think Russian planes are better than American planes, but I don't agree with you, Gaijin. Because we have this little thing called actual history, where we can look at the combat records of pilots and planes and how they performed, and all your little notes and pads and design documents and your little engineering numbers and your predicted performance values, they don't mean shit. Because we know what actually happened. And those German planes got their fucking asses kicked because they didn't have any delta wing jets with fucking cannons on them because they didn't exist. Oh, Sabzi, I'm jealous. You got to do the dishes. And no, you didn't miss Mr. Garbage. So you're still good. I'm about to die of fatigue, though, so I think it's nap time. It's not quite sausage time yet. I'm a little worried about sleeping too early in the day. You can get stuck in Sunday forever if you're not careful. The German rocket plane, yeah, the Me-163, it was like a solid fuel rocket plane. But the thing about that plane is that it actually did see combat, and it saw service, and we saw how it performed, and we know about it. No, I'm not saying German planes were bad, Hako. I'm not saying that at all. The ones that they actually made and flew were pretty good. They were pretty good. But there were a bunch of them that they never flew, that never could have existed, that were totally like, it was, imagine if, okay, let's just say we had a war today, just for fun, and I'm an aircraft engineer, just for fun. So, I go to design two planes. One is a plane that I know we can make, and one is a plane that I think we're going to need to win the war. So I make a plane we know we're going to make. It's got two wings, it's got a rudder, all the basics, it's got a little machine gun on it, a cockpit, and a control stick, and that's it. Now, I know this plane isn't going to win us the war, because it's a real plane, and it's all we could make, and that's fine. We had the materials, we had the ammo, we had the guns, all that stuff. Put it in the plane and go. Put it out there, hope for the best. That's what everybody else did. So then, let's go design a better plane for the future. How about we make a plane with 25 wings, 17 jet engines, 37 laser cannons. It's got a shark dispenser in it, and it launches fucking corgis with jetpacks on them. All right, and I'll draw that up in my little schematic, and I'll put it in a drawer, and 30 years after the war, 40, 50, 60, 80 years after the war, some idiot pulls that piece of paper out of the war and goes, holy shit, they had a corgi launcher. Let's put that in a game. That is my problem. Because that was all that plane ever was. It was a fucking fantasy. It was a wet dream. It was a what if we could do whatever we wanted, even if we can't. I know, I want a shark dispenser too. I'd be down. So yeah, at least I try to make my rants mildly entertaining. I know I'm ranting and whining about video games. I'm not super serious about that. Like I said, I like stuff about... I do kind of miss War Thunder a little bit, because it really, you know, it's... Once you get past all the microtransactions and all the plane choices and the free-to-pay-to-win stuff, it's just a decent dogfighting game, and there's some cool tank stuff too. Let's go. It's a bit grindy, though. I will say that. Hey, Blog them AI. Thank you so much for the resubscription. That's not very meh. That's pretty cool, actually. Hey, Surrey. Also, thank you with the 22-month resubscription. I am not the only one who has returned. You have also returned with 22 on you. Thank you guys so much. Now if only you could tighten these bolts for me. See, that's what this game needs. I need a fucking employee. I need to be able to run my Killju racket and have some dedicated bolt-turning grease monkey out here in the garage to order around. Install my carburetor. Adjust my manifold. Give me a brake job. No, not in the car. In the bathroom. On my penis. I mean, yes, a mechanic. That's what I need. Oh, God. See, it's the giggles. Does it every time. I swear I had a wrench just a second ago that was working totally fine on these bolts, and it just stopped right in the middle of turning them. Spanner selection stream. Which spanner will I pick? That's 3 pregnancies. Lieutenant General store indeed with 28 months in a row. You're going to go out of house and home paying child support like that, my good sir. I hope they get a good education. Because I sure as hell didn't. I had an okay education. I think people would be surprised to know my education. Considering how much of an idiot I am all the time. And talk about how much of an idiot I am all the time. I don't mean to be super self-deprecating. I know it's nice to, you know, I don't think I'm a complete piece of shit. There's plenty worse people out there than me. Plenty dumber, too. That doesn't mean I'm not I'm not a bit of a dumbass myself, though. I say take it in the moment. Let yourself have dumbass moments and genius moments, and then you can do both. Let yourself be both. You could be a genius 1 minute and a dumbass the next. I've done it a lot. Although I don't have a lot of evidence to support the genius bit. I have plenty of historical evidence and great, well-documented exchanges to cover all the idiocy, though. Plenty of that. Yeah, you know what is my most annoying thing about this? And I just tried to do this, too, and it hurt really bad, is I always drink my coffee with my left hand. And this whole stream, I've been not drinking my coffee because I've been mousing. There you go. A little slurp for the people. Nope. Never gonna be an ASMR streamer, guys. I'm sorry. No matter how much you like my slurps, they're not for you. They're not for you. So did we do the brake line install? I think we did, but no, that might have been the clutch line. That's the fuel strainer. That doesn't go on yet. Oh, wow. This is... I have 2 batteries. Nice. That's probably why I'm so broke. Apparently, I bought a battery we did not need to buy. Oops. What is my Oh, I have an, I didn't mean to say I have a PhD in something. I have an associate's degree from, community college. Yeah, that's right. I'll brag about that. I don't give a shit. Because I also went to a 4-year school, although that did not work out. But my experience between the two of them was stark and dramatic, and I do like sharing that story because I'll never forget the shocking change between paying $1,300 a year to go to a beautiful, beautiful landscaped campus full of lovely buildings and interested teachers teaching topics that they studied and loved. And I'll never forget how that was not the case at any other school I ever went to. Only that one community college, which was fucking amazing and so cheap. But yeah, I mean, even that associate's degree kind of makes people I know go, what? How? You? What? It's not a thing anyway. It's basically a GED plus. Not going to get you a job anywhere, but it can get you into higher and higher education if you would like it. That was the reason I got it, too, was to try to parlay that into a 4-year degree, which, I believe it or not, I'm relatively close to. I think I was 28 credits away when I dropped out. 30, maybe? I don't know. Don't drop out of school, kids. It's bad for you. It will make you go blind. Unless you picked a really shitty school like I did, then stop wasting your time. In Finland, all education is free. Quit showing off, Finland. Leave a little coolness for the rest of us. To have your beer and your lumberjack industry and your free education. Stop rubbing it in our faces. I think there's another bolt on this clutch lining somewhere, but I don't know where it is. Here, there, everywhere, somewhere. There it is. The clutch bone's connected to the other part of the car bone. This song's not going anywhere. Is connected to the I don't know bone. A citizen of Finland for a free education? Well, nothing's perfect. Oh, that one really hurt. And oh, this is the part I've been terrified of, is the coughing. I've been pretty lucky, actually. With all the leaves falling off the trees and we've been getting a ton of rain. I haven't been getting a lot of pollen, so my allergies have been cool, and I haven't had a lot of coughing incidents while dealing with my rib injury, which has been incredibly relieving. Yeah, people have different experiences with college. Like, you know, you can get somebody that went to a fucking Ivy League college and all they got out of it was a bunch of parties. Really, it's just what you put into it, too. And that's probably the truth about my personal community college experience, was I was probably more invested in it than I was in any of the other ones. But it was just a beautiful campus, and it was an awesome school. And they even had, like, cool deals where they would do book exchange programs so they wouldn't let people rip you off over their shitty, expensive textbooks. I don't know. It really was a community college in that respect, in that it was designed to try to get people from the community to get any kind of higher education as cheap as possible, and I really respect that. I also totally respect people going back to school, although I will never do it myself, because I think I've just learned enough, honestly. I'm good. I'm done. Just the other day I learned about oxidation of metal surfaces in air over time. That was new, and I think I'm gonna cap it off at that. I think I'm done with learning. Yep, we're good. I'll pass. I'm gonna stick with knowing from here on out, and I'm just gonna assume I know everything from the get-go. Like, look at this. I don't know how to build a car, but look, there it is anyway. Being built, no matter what I do. Is there a faster way to lower an engine hoist? Well, you could probably just hold the handle down and it would drop eventually. They're usually gravity assisted. Then again, that is kind of hydraulic, so that probably would stop it. I don't know. That seems like a really weird question. Anybody know how I can lower my hoist a little faster? Careful with that hoist, too. You might get a hoist under it. What in the fuck is a petard? And how do you get hoist under one? I use that saying all the time. I think a petard was a medieval siege device. Is that right? It was like a sapper. They would dig under a tunnel, under a wall, and petard it. Is that right? I don't know. I love that saying, hoist under my own petard, because it happens to me all the time. I constantly find myself dangling precariously directly underneath whatever my own petard is. Big stick with explosives on the end. Was it used for sieges, though? Was I right about that, at least? Because, wow, what a great idea, too. Look, it's an explosion on a stick. Totally safe that way. Yep. No problem. Didn't they use those against the Turpits? Or were those different naval type BAMs? BAMs. JC, it's a BAM. Look out, JC. It's your BAM. JC's never going to learn. He's never going to look out. Just give it up. He's a cyborg now. He doesn't need to look out. We're pretty close to getting this thing lined up. It's just a mechanical issue at this point, and there's one. Please stop moving, car. Let's see if the e-brake works. Seems good. Alright. 12. 13? 12. 11? I love hearing the audible drop in confidence as I begin to go through the bolt selection. 12. 11? 10, maybe? I don't know. What the fuck? They're different sizes? That can't be. Is this cannot be? Maybe we just have to tighten other ones. I know there's bolts here that need to be tightened, and oh, that needs to be tightened, and yeah, there's a lot of stuff. Let's go tighten all the things. Teen Titans assemble this car for me right now. Now that is a show I never watched. I've heard it was okay though. Come on, engine. I went to all that trouble to drop you in there. The least you could do for me is to let me finish. Oddly, extremely sexual, that. I like to avoid extreme sexuality and only do basic sexuality. Like penis. We don't need to go any further than that. Long wanger. Donger. Okay, we did. It's too late now. It's too late to turn back now. So did that give me enough? No. I don't know. I'm a little worried about this bolt here because it's not the same size as all the other ones. Or it is, and it's just not lined up, right? Okay, there we go. So for whatever reason, I had to tighten the exhaust pipe before it would let me tighten that. And we still have to tighten all these little fuckers for the half shafts, quarter shafts, third shafts, 1/1/8 shafts. A half shaft would be a quarter shaft. And a half a quarter shaft would be a 4/15 shaft. What about the long dark? Yeah, that's a game. It's a super linear survival game though, so I'm not really into linear things. And I have played it recently since they added the sagas to it. With little chapters, and it's very much just a, you know, point A, point B, points. You just go from one point to the next. It's pretty much all sort of scripted, and it's a story. It's got a story it wants to tell you, and that story's gonna happen, and you're just sort of there watching. I don't like those kind of games. I want to be the one making the fucking story. I want the story to be about me. Dagnabbit. I'm special. Gosh darn it, people like me. 5 of them. Please. Anything. I'll do anything for you to please let me tighten you. I will grab a 10. I will grab an 11. I've grabbed every other size. It can't be any of those sizes. It has to be smaller. Please, God, just let me tighten you. I'm gonna go jump off a cliff. I'm gonna go jump off something tall. I am gonna light myself on fire and see how long I fall What the fucking fuck? Alright, fuck it. That thing's not getting tightened. You want to be like that, Bolt? Well, then fine. You're just going to have to tighten yourself. Good luck. See, you do it. It might just be that I had to do the half shaft first, like the other one. But I think that bolt is a mistake. It looks like there's something missing there, actually. Like it's supposed to tighten down into something that's not there. It could be that it's just this alternator is in the wrong spot. Speaking of screwdrivers, let's unscrew our alternator. And that's the other thing, too, is this engine was entirely assembled on a different stream weeks ago, so I don't know if I even did it right. I'm going to go with probably not. Yeah, there's a whole bunch of bolts I see that are not tightened, like that one. What is that? Oh, that's the lift. That doesn't want to be tightened. Got it. In fact, that's probably what's going on here. I bet I have to remove it from the lift before the rest of these bolts will become activated. Derp. Herp. Am I going to play Star Citizen when it's out? What? You think those people are making a game? No. They make videos. They're never making a game. They make videos. They made a TV studio, not a game studio. They make car commercials for cars that don't exist, and they sell them to people for prices that you would pay for a car that actually existed. No. Those people are not making a game. They have no intention of making a game. They never wanted to make a game, and they're never gonna make a game. I'm not saying it's vaporware. I'm just saying it doesn't exist and it never will. They only make commercials there. Yeah, RCI Industries. Really? Commercial industries. Buy your imaginary space car today. We swear we'll give it to you someday. Honest. Just keep funding us. Yes, we are the most funded game in history. Yes, we are. But could you please just buy another spaceship? Yes, you've given us more money than you've given any developer in the history of game development, and we have produced nothing but a television studio producing videos selling more things. But would you please just give us a little bit more money? We're almost done, I swear. Mark Hamill's involved. It's real, I promise. Yeah, whatever. Star Citizen can go suck it. They've had plenty of time. All they've made are TV commercials. Fuck them. I like games. I don't like TV commercials. I like things I can play with. Yeah, they got their little open beta, whatever. I don't know. I'm not that against Star Citizen. I just think it's a scam, that's all. It's just a huge scam. I guess that's probably not nice to say, but... oh well. Enjoy your spaceships you bought that you can't fly. That don't exist. See, like, I actually... partially kind of funded Star Citizen myself, too. I bought a spaceship in it back in the day. And so I guess this is just bitter salt. You can categorize this under bitter salt, if you will. If you're looking for explanations, put me under the Derek Smart category for bitter, salty old pieces of crap. Although I'd like to think that I'm a little bit more bound in reality than that piece of shit. But yeah, like, I bought a spaceship on their Star Citizen for their game that doesn't exist to help them make a game. And you know what they did? Not only did they never make my spaceship, but they changed it. And so they never will make the spaceship that I bought from them. Ever. It won't ever exist. And so, like, I don't know, I just kind of turned off. Like, okay, so you sold me a spaceship that you designed to sell spaceships, and then you decided, before you'd ever finished making it or even attempted it, that you were going to change it and make something else instead. I'm not giving these people any more money. And that's how I feel everyone should be responsible for their own investments, and even like an emotional investment in a franchise. Take responsibility. Some of these motherfuckers are Nigerian scammers, alright? Straight up. Just because they say they're doing something doesn't mean they are. They're probably making TV commercials. I don't know. I don't make anything. I'm just a piece of crap with a hole in my wing. Don't listen to me. I'm about done with Star Citizen for pretty much ever, though. I wouldn't even care if they did release a game. I don't think I would care. I got plenty of games to play. That's the thing. There's so many good games. I'm done worrying about all these pieces of crap that never get made, don't even exist, and are designed to sell crates and boxes and models of 70-year-old pop culture icons. Yeah, no, I'm good. I got other things to worry about in my life. Like how many bolts I can tighten in one stream. I think we're going for the record today. Am I peeing in the shower? Not at the moment. You know what is my guilty pleasure in the shower? I don't ever pee in the shower, but I do one thing that... Don't tell anyone. I always blow my nose in the shower, and I feel really nasty about it. Like I'm committing some kind of sin. You know, because there's no Kleenex, and I'm just like, fuck it. We're already getting clean, let's just go. See, why would you ever listen to me for opinions on video games? I blow my nose in the shower. I'm a subhuman trash. Just ignore me. Where does this go? Hopefully in the car. Oh, I think this goes on the engine somewhere. It's the fuel strainer, right? No, it goes over here. And it connects like this. That's not mine. Oh. See, this is the part where it gets to, like, TMI information when we're talking about showering and stuff like that. You know, like, you gotta have some lines drawn in the sand. Some not go there places. But there is a really funny story time associated with that, even if it is oddly sexual, and I probably shouldn't even mention it, but there is a really funny story time associated with me blowing my nose in the shower. I've probably told that story a few times on stream in the past, so we'll just leave it to the old hats to relay if they know. Although I don't think so. Das Koot would know that story. Some stories are better left unsaid. Yeah? That is true. That is a truth-ism. It looks like something's supposed to go through there, but I think that's just that little guy. This part is not tightened down, though. The gearbox connector shaft, that one. Whoa. I had the right spanner, and it is tightened down, so double, triple mega wrong. You are an old hat dinosaur, Mr. Slime. You might have been around the Jef Stream Program longer than I have. Amazing. How do you do it? Please be the right size. Oh boy, here we go again. You know what's nice is I don't have to physically restrain myself from going crazy and smashing my keyboard and monitor because I'm physically restrained already. So bring it on, game. Show me how salty you can get. Let's get that sodium count up. That one's already tightened down. That's tightened down. It's starting to look better. There's still some weird old bolts like that one that should be tightened, and these ones, but I wasn't able to tighten them before, and that one's super important. That's the one that connects the engine block to the chassis. I should probably tighten it. Huh? Yeah, maybe. Maybe. I heard when driving around it helps to have your engine attached. A little bit. Steve, you're pretty close. You are pretty close. No, I'll tell this story, although I don't like telling these kind of stories because it always sounds like a humble brag when you're talking about your past sex life. But the truth about that story was my horror feelings associated with blowing my nose in the shower are all associated with one event where I had my first girlfriend in high school, and we decided to take our first shower together. You know, high school, puppy love, that kind of stuff. You know, 17, 18, old enough. And I did that blowing my nose in the shower thing, and she had decided to give me my world's first ever blowjob, and it went about 5 seconds before she got up and started gagging because there was a huge snot rocket in my crotch from me blowing my nose in the shower. Oh yeah! Doesn't matter, had sex for, sort of, for 5 seconds. See what I mean, though? Some stories are better just left untold. Some stories, just leave them be. I need my toolbox. Puppy love. Gotta love it. True romance. In my pants. I could have gone better, though, I gotta say. Oh, that's it. That's the one I couldn't tighten. All we had to do was get down. Fortuitous. Don't die, Zier. Hang in there, buddy. I managed to survive that sort of emotional scarring. I think she did too. Actually, we dated for a long time after that. In fact, we got engaged after that. So maybe I should be telling you guys to do this. Guys, gentlemen, listen. You know those GQ tips on how to please your lady? How to tickle the beehole or munch on the bunch bits? You don't need any of that stuff. Just fortify your relationship with a little bit of mucus in your crotch area. Hey, it's Mr. Garbage Man. I'm waving with my right hand. I love you, Mr. Garbage Man. I would elevate my voice so that you could hear me if I could. Can you hear him? Here, let me... I can't move the microphone, guys. I'm sorry. I can't move it. Hang on, wait. Right-handed. Here we go.